All right, we are streaming on the website.
Wild, wild, wild thoughts.
Video and audio. Make sure the video is working. Hey, there I am.
Did they have old Rackety on there? Old Rackety.
Old Rackety?
Old Rackety.
How do you spell Rackety? Rackety?
E-double-E.
Oh, there's Cock Crow. Do you have that one?
Yep, we got Cockrow. There's Rodeo Flip.
Old Rackety, a hazy straw-colored saison that highlights the grain bill of Bo Pills. Bo Pills.
Bohemian Pilsner.
Ah, there you go. Flaked oats and Faro Verde. I was thinking of Little Bo Pills, but now I know
Old
what Little Bo
Rackety.
Pills means. From Anson Mills. This unique ancient grain is harvested before dry, blah, 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 blah. French saison yeast. Amarillo hops.
Interesting. Wild in my butt.
Wild.
Running wild in my butt.
Wow, wow.
I have a bad case of diarrhea. Have you seen that on YouTube?
No.
I don't want to see that. What is it? A butt kiss of diarrhea?
I have a bad case of diarrhea.
Oh, bad
they do
case.
they're doing like dancing
Uh-huh.
to that. It's like,
So what are the beers that we have?
we've got Old Rackety.
That one I'm looking forward to. It's a Pharaoh saison.
Yeah, we've got Rodeo Flip, which was just kegged yesterday, just for us. And there's Cockrow, a breakfast stout. And there's Pow Bra, West Coast IPA, and then Hawaiian Sling.
Sweet.
Are we starting with Old Rackety?
We're starting with Old Rackety because it's the lowest in alcohol.
All righty.
Old Rackety.
Turn the sound off on this fucking thing.
Dude, we need the whale sound.
Oh, let me make sure.
See if you can pull up a gunshot. And then,
I can't do a gunshot.
gunshot and a whale. Get it?
Fucked up, man.
Gun whale.
There be whales here.
That happened at the party, too. Everyone's like, whoa!
Oh, fuck!
Okay.
Mailbag. Saison.
We could do both.
There be whales here.
There you go. Remix.
I remixed a remix. It was back to normal.
Break it down. Nice.
Are we good?
Yep.
Welcome to Fort Brewers. My name is Matt Becker, and as always, I'm joined by
John Holzer.
And Greg Nagel.
Oh, Jason's sick.
He's still sick.
Oh. So he's going to be missing out on some gun whale ales.
Mm-hmm.
Hit it, John.
Oh, let's start over.
All right.
I was, yeah. Sorry, Matt.
Forehead on mic.
I made you coffee. You can't have this attitude.
Welcome to Fort Brewers. My name is Matt Becker.
And as always, I'm joined by...
Welcome to Fort Brewers. My name is Matt Becker, and as always, I'm joined by
John Holzer.
And Greg Nagel.
Jason's sick.
He's out of here.
Yeah. Hey, what are we drinking today?
There be whales here.
We've got the gun whales.
The
And
gun,
we've got some saisons from
the gun whale
the
ales.
gun whales. He's going to sneeze. Oh, my goodness. Bless you. In the name of gun whale.
So we did a gun whale beer before. We
Last
did
week.
a collab. But now we've got a full on.
We've got a pod of whales.
Yeah, we've got
The
a
gun
whole
whale.
a whole pod of whales. What's the story with gun whale, Greg?
Gun whale opened up within the last year, and It was started by 3 dudes, one of which was a chef at a place called Pizzeria Ortica, which is in Costa Mesa, kind of not far from where their brewery is now. Really talented chef at a really great Italian restaurant, good cocktails, and he brought like a good beer program, which was kind of fun. I met him at a beer dinner there, so it was fun.
Nice.
Serendipitous. And I was like, dude, you should open a brewery, because he gave me one of his homebrewed saisons at the time. And he's like, yeah, just let me know what you think of it. And funny enough, I had an event, I think it was Bottle Logic's opening at the time, and they had like an industry event, and I took that bottle to Bottle Logic, and there was like Patrick Rue and like all these dudes.
All the huge.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, let me just crack this. This is Chef Justin Miller's homebrew, saison. And everybody's like, fuck, this is pretty goddamn good.
Nice.
And I'm like, I agree. So I gave him feedback. I'm like, dude, you should open a brewery. And
lo and behold,
3 years later, he actually did. It's just, if you know where South Coast Plaza is, it's kind of just south of the 405 freeway, right across the street from Barley Forge. And
that's like right there.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. If you're leaving Barley Forge and you just kept going, you would hit Gunwale Else. But they're essentially a sort of like surf vibe. Hipster surf vibe is what I would kind of coin.
Yeah, if you go to their website, it says, "Are you 18 year over?" And like, yes,
yeah,
it's
brah.
like, yeah, brah. And the negative is like, no, I'm bummed.
No, I'm bummed, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Oh.
But
they've got Steve-O the driver working for them.
What I really like about what they have going is they make the beer that I want to drink. They've got the 5% saisons. They've got the nicely freshly hopped IPAs, and they've got crowlers to go. So it's essentially they checked all the boxes of what I was looking for in somebody opening a brewery.
Nice,
which is rad. So and they're super nice guys. Kevin from the brewery,
Kevin Hammonds.
Mm-hmm. Kevin Hammonds, big Ducks fan dude,
mm-hmm.
left. He was at Evans for a hot minute,
mm-hmm.
and then he just joined as their head brewer. And I haven't tried any of these beers yet, so let's get a cracking.
Cool.
The first one,
Kevin, my former boss, actually.
Yeah, he's a fun guy.
Sure.
No, I mean he's everywhere. He does everything.
He does do everything.
I see him everywhere. Everywhere I go, there's Kevin Hammonds. So I'm cracked a 5.1% Old Rackety Faro Amarillo Saison.
I'm excited about this one because Faro or Spelt. Faro and Spelt are the same thing, I believe.
Whoever spelt it.
So, okay, you said you were excited about this, Matt, because it was a Faro Saison or a Faro Saison.
Yes.
What does that mean?
So Faro, if I'm not mistaken,
it's an old world grain.
Yeah, I'm looking this up because
because on Untapped it says Faro Verde from Anson Mills. So I guess
okay. So Faro is an ethnobotanical term derived from Italian Latin for a group of 3 wheat species: Spelt, Emmer, and Einkorn.
Einkorn.
Finkel and
I have
Einkorn.
Winecorn.
Finkel and Einkorn. Finkel and Einkorn.
What's that from?
It's from the first
Ace Ventura.
Oh, yeah.
Einhorn and Finkel.
Finkel is Einhorn.
Finkel and Einhorn.
Einhorn is Finkel.
That's right. God, I haven't seen that forever.
Finkel is Einhorn.
Einhorn is a man! Anyways, so my favorite Saison of all time, the Saison de Epatre from Blaugé, Brasserie Blaugé, is a Spelt Saison.
Oh.
And
therefore,
it's not a grain that you see very often. It's more or less wheat.
Okay.
But you can actually buy Faro at like the grocery store, at like nicer grocery stores.
Yeah, I think they mentioned on their website Anson Mills or something like that. Like if you go to any health food store, you can see their bags of like various.
So what makes that so good? Like, is it just tasty?
I don't know if it's necessarily that good. It's interesting. I'm curious how it's going to affect the flavor. Because like I said, it's really close to wheat. It's not going to be as different as wheat is to rye. You know, it's going to be pretty similar to wheat, but it's not an ingredient that you see used very often. But it was traditionally used in Belgium quite a bit.
Okay.
But then also this one is Amarillo hopped, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So it's this is the first like Americanized Faro Saison I've ever seen, which I think is really cool.
It's very bold in the nose.
It's got like a funk going on almost. Like
Yeah, it's got
Yeah,
a
it's
stank.
got a funk and a hop.
because it's made with what they say, quote unquote, French saison yeast. And to me, I think of 3711.
I think that's pretty much what that means.
But it doesn't smell like 3711 to me, right off the bat.
Yeah,
anyway.
it does. It has a lot of. It's pretty hoppy.
But
you know,
there's
I think-
something else. Is it the hops that I'm getting in there?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
This definitely has that signature 3711 like white pepper thing.
then it's the hops that's kind of covering that up for me, I guess you could
Now
say.
they have a foeder. I wonder if this beer saw any foeder time.
This says hazy straw colored saison that highlights a grain bill of Bohemian pills, that is. Flaked oats and Faro Verde from Anson Mills. Unique ancient grain is harvested before dry and fire threshed in its hulls, offering an earthy smokiness. Interesting.
I get that.
It's balanced by big citrusy Amarillo hops, light medium body and dry finish. Fermented with French saison. So I don't think this is
Okay.
wild at all.
My brain was going sort of like diesel fuel, and then the more I kind of dug in, I really got that smokiness, smoky nuts.
Yeah, it's just really like light. Like it's really light. The smokiness.
Yeah, but it's there. I mean, it's kind of like maybe you had a Schlenkerla beer in your
Oh
glass.
man, it's way more present in the flavor.
yeah, it's like you had a Schlenkerla beer in your glass, and then you poured like a Pilsner in after it.
Why does it smell smoky?
because
That's weird.
it says this unique ancient grain is harvested before dry and fire thresh in its hulls.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fire thrash, baby. Get that.
I've never
in
heard
here.
that before. Fire threshed.
I've been-
Sounds pretty badass,
Threshed
isn't it?
in fire. Cool.
Yeah, it sounds like a Manowar song.
Sounds like a
Threshed in fire.
sounds like an episode name for Game of Thrones.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, how's Dorn was threshed in fire?
Yeah, this is not what I thought it would be. The
Isn't it different?
the smokiness comes through like on the it's
It's campfire saison.
campfire.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a little much.
Yeah, it's
Smoke
pretty
saison.
bold.
Smoke saison is something that I've never gone for, and I'm still not really convinced on. And
Yeah, what was the one beer that Stone did? The Burning Rosids.
yeah,
Matt's burning rosids
Yeah.
or rosids.
Yeah.
I wonder. That was a smoked saison, right?
it wasn't very good. I didn't like it. The smoke saison in general, this doesn't really.
This goes back to my default. I just don't like smoked beer overall. I don't know why smoke needs to be in beer. I appreciate it. I'm glad it's a thing. It's an interesting thing to have in certain styles of beer. But something like this, I don't want smoke in this. I mean, it's not what it's supposed to be. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting, and I'm not. This is the best smoked saison that I've had.
Yeah, definitely.
But like smoked saison just.
I will say though, I mean, when you get past the smoke, there is some definite fruitiness happening. I think it finishes pretty dry. It's I don't think smoked beers can be refreshing, but this is refreshing for being a smoky kind of beer. It's not a smoked. I keep calling it smoked. It's not smoked. It's
Not
smoky.
intentionally.
Yeah.
Smoked malt or whatever.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, it is smoked malt by the way that the grain is produced.
Yeah.
And I mean, their 3-word flavor description is earthy smoke citrus.
Is it really? Wow.
Yep. So they're definitely intentionally putting that smoke in there.
Yeah, the hops,
Smoke it up.
the hops come through, but not like in a huge way. I think that just adds a note. It's not like you're getting a IPA level of hops. It's just kind of like a nice citrusy, zesty sort of note.
I really feel like if they would have just used regular spelt instead of the smoked farro, then it would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
But the quality is definitely there.
Yeah,
So-
it's not faulted in any way.
Yeah, so they got that going for it for sure. Let's move on. What else do we got here? Do we have
we've got
something hoppy?
Rodeo Flip is a Belgian pale ale with Sactois.
Now you're speaking my language.
And they kegged this just yesterday morning,
Oh,
just for the 4 Brew show.
oh, that's very cool. Thanks, guys.
So what is Sactois? Saccharomyces?
It's the Brettois. Used to be Brett. Now it's just Sac.
Yeah, it used to be Brett, and then they're like, wait, this isn't Brett.
Some dude did a microscopic
Oh,
thing.
I remember that. Yeah. Okay.
They did a DNA test, probably.
It was a turns out kind of situation.
Yeah, they're like, oh, oops.
I will say
Yeah.
these are some very, crowlers. I love them, but man, it's a lot of beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of beer for this session.
This is 5.4%. Last episode, I had a total brain fart of where this is brewed out of. It's brewed out of Backstreet in Anaheim.
Backstreet.
Yes,
It's back.
Backstreet.
It's back.
It's back in.
All right.
Back in the street.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
All right.
I've never had Backstreet beers.
They're pub beers.
Yeah,
Huh.
They're fine.
they were brewing out of Lamppost forever and ever, and Vista, I think.
So this is a cloudy, unfiltered pale, fermented in an oak foeder with, like you said, the sack Brett. Or not sack Brett. Sack.
Sack Brett.
It's a thing.
It's a sack.
No.
It's a
My buddy Sack Brett came
sack of
over.
Brett.
I'm gonna hit you in the sack with some Brett.
We just talked about
I hit
that.
you in Brett's sack.
Huel Melon hops.
Oh, it's a Huel.
Huelhauser.
Wow. This beer.
Oh, wow.
So you're telling
Amazing.
me that this yeast used to be a Brett strain, but now it's just a sack strain?
That's amazing.
It's back to California Gold after this beer.
That's
Oh yes, you
That
guys.
smells good.
Oh yes.
Isn't that fucking just layered?
Oh man, this hits me in all of my happy spots.
I get some dill on the nose.
Yeah,
This
I
is
mean,
crazy.
Dill and
dill. It's like
lavender.
yeah, it's like lemon zesty,
I just want to smell this beer. This smells so good. It
a
doesn't
little
have
bit oaky.
like all of the funk, like that kind of. I want to call it Brett. What am I supposed to call this?
Yeast.
Okay, it has the yeast funk. But it's like fruity too.
Tropical.
And kind of
I think Trog.
cakey.
Yeah, for sure. Trog, I think, gives that like pineapple-y, mango-y.
Yeah, it has a really unique like ester profile. You know, it's real, very estery.
That's when I get more like springtime, like after a rain in a field sort of thing.
This
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah,
Like lavender and some hay.
yeah. It has a little bit
Wet-
of that like cereal
wet logs.
grain thing.
Yeah, man.
Wet logs in a forest trickling down my
Yeah.
tent in the morning.
Those logs though.
Dude, this is bomb. 5.4%. Like,
Where's the Crowler? Can I see?
give me all of this.
I gotta love you gotta love their branding too.
Yeah, I think they put a lot of thought into
What do you like about their branding specifically, Matt?
I like how it's clean, it's contemporary, it's not excessively modern.
So
and-
what's their picture? Their little glyph there? Is it a plane or?
no,
It's
it's
a
a
boat.
gunship.
Oh, it's a gunship.
gun boil boat.
Yeah, gunboat.
See, I don't know anything about
About maritime
No.
anything.
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, I mean, fucking A, man, this crushes. Like I could
Yes, sir.
fucking demolish this beer.
Yeah, early on, I think a lot of their beers had sort of this like sulfury thing on the nose, and I think they've worked that out.
Like the
I mean, we
crisp-
still have a few to go.
This has
but-
like a crisp softness to it. It's
There's no
savory.
astringency. Yeah, there's no astringency whatsoever.
I mean,
it's
it finishes clean, not necessarily dry. It's dry. It's a dry finish, but it's not. Yeah, it's not a string. It's
this is the beer I want to drink all day.
yeah. I want some more.
I want to
Yeah,
keg of this
seriously.
at home.
yeah,
and,
exactly.
just
Oh
be done with
God,
it.
yeah. If you had a 5 gallon of this at home, like I would be drunk all the time, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, good
Yeah,
job.
it's
Well
fucking
done,
dude.
Damn.
Oh my God.
So, like, what do they call it? The wart wagon. Have you seen that? On the
Yeah,
internet. It's an interesting thing because like they don't actually have their own brew house, right?
Yeah.
They don't produce their own wort.
They do have a Type 23 license, which is like a production,
Yeah, I was gonna say
production ABC thing.
Explain that. Like,
So essentially, if you don't have a brew house, you're not making beer. And like, suppose across the street, like Barley Forge or whatever, they have a brew house and they can
producing
produce
their
all
own
the
wort,
beer.
yeah.
They produce their own wort, but they're making their own. They're making the wort at Backstreet, and then toting it over to their brewery where they have fermenters and
Yeah, they have
they
like
have a fooder. And
like essentially instead of buying a
tanks.
brew house, they bought like a van that has like a
Down by
tank
the river.
in it.
Yep.
Yeah, and so they go to this other brewery to make their wort, and then they put it in this tank. And they truck it back to their facility
Mm-hmm.
where they ferment it. Honestly, it's kind of like what the brewery's doing with Taru, where Taru's a separate
exactly what they're
facility.
It's also what Sour Cellars kind of did.
It's what Sour Cellars did
Where
for a
you-
while. It's
you
what
get-
Almanac did.
But you can get like a jump start on your tasting room because you're opening like a bar essentially or something like that at that point, and you know it's a different license. And then once you have all that established and you're actually serving product, you can apply for your, I guess, 23 is what you said.
they already have it.
Yeah, they already
essentially
have it.
there.
But I think that's kind of what he did at Sour Cell. He got ahead of the game. He had product that he was brewing off site and then just storing at his place.
Casa Agria is another one who I believe still does that. I think that Casa Agria still doesn't have their own brew house. And Almanac was the best example of that because you have your own barrel facility, and especially
They're still doing that.
yeah, and especially when you're doing a sour program or a really like barrel heavy program, and you have a lot of aging time, you can kind of go somewhere else, have your wort brewed, bring it back, let it sit in barrels for a while while you're still building up the rest of your facility.
Yeah, they do have a barrel program that's in the works too. So we'll
Yeah,
probably
we mentioned that they had a fooder already.
yeah, they're doing that for more quick release stuff. So as we see, we've got a wild IPA coming up, which I don't know how wild it is. I think it's the same yeast strain as this.
Wow.
but it goes through the fooder. And
Wild IPA. Sorry.
I think it's 4 barrel. I don't know how many barrels.
Oh, that's
it
a pretty
is.
small fooder.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool though.
So we've got
yeah, it's an interesting model,
yeah, for sure. We've got Cockrow, a breakfast stout, or West Coast IPA.
What about that? Wow.
Yeah, we're kind
Wild
of
IPA.
in the wildish area.
What?
All right, we're going. This was the second can release that they released when they put out the Noble beer.
We did the Noble beer
Noble collab.
on a previous episode.
Last week's episode, actually.
Last week, go back in time. Go back in time.
Look at
In time.
what is that art? It looks like Glass Animals Zaba album cover is what it
Kind
looks
of
like.
tiki-ish.
Sort of, yeah.
Pink and like
and
a
teal.
dark green, teal, and purplish.
almost pastel.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, brah.
It looks good. I mean,
Yeah, it does really, really nice looking artwork. And it's nice because they have like the simple logo and simple name and stuff, but then the background is kind of like funky looking. It's really nice. Excuse me.
Sort of in the same vein. Like,
Way
you can-
hoppier though.
Yeah,
like
for
way
sure.
more hop forward, way less like I guess Belgian yeast presence.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the same yeast-toi. And that fooder really pops as well.
again, that cakey thing. I'm getting it on this. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, get some like coconut notes.
Yeah, coconut pineapple.
Yeah. It's very tropical, I think, on the nose.
Little wet lumberyard.
A wet lumberyard.
I'm getting a
lumberyard in the
really
ring.
distinct, like bright, like citrus peel on this.
Oh
too,
yeah, for sure.
You know,
Oh, wow. The flavor. Grapefruity, I think. But not like a...
Pink
It's
grapefruit.
not like a gripping grapefruit.
like
It's-
ruby red
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, definitely.
with some sugar on it. It's just fun. I
Mm.
don't,
Yeah,
there's
what
not
a-
too many people who are doing fooder hoppy beers.
Yeah, like at all.
I don't think anybody's doing that. So
So
it's
far,
kind of
I
like
am
fresh
blown away. I did not
territory.
expect these at all. I thought they were just brewing like standard. Honestly, I thought they were just brewing hazy beer. That's what they that's for whatever reason I thought that. And this is like this is pleasantly surprising.
Oh, Greg, you know who the first person that I heard about Gunwale from besides you was Mr. Shelby Baskins.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Shelby,
How do you know Shelby?
barber to the Brewers.
Yes, he cuts my hair as well.
Really great dude. I remember I was cutting hair, and the salon that he's at is like right down the street from there. And he was like, "You should go check it out." And I'm like, "Yeah, I would, but we had other plans."
There's Windsor Homebrew Supply. There's if you park at Windsor, you can go to essentially Barley Forge and Gunwale,
Yeah.
and soon to be Bootleggers on that same street.
Yeah.
little hot spot, and get your haircut by Shelby Baskins.
Yeah, you can get an
Haircut of the
appointment.
Brewers.
You can get an appointment.
Yeah, you usually can. I usually go around lunchtime. He is my. He gives me he dishes on all the Brewers. He tells me all of like the background stuff.
All
It's
the
worth
all the cheese.
So, what's up with Evan Price today?
Sounds like what's supposed to be happening there.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens
amazing.
in a
amazing.
salon.
It's a good stuff, and he knows how to cut my hair.
Yes, he does.
That helps.
So overall,
This beer was fantastic so far. This is my favorite beer of the day.
what's
I
it
think.
called again? Hawaiian.
It's
Hawaiian Delight?
Hawaiian Sling.
Hawaiian.
Wild.
The Hawaiian treat.
Now I'm
dipping
thinking
my-
of what's that bikini for men?
Macadamia nuts. The mankini.
Mankini.
No, it's something sling. Banana hammock.
Banana hammock.
Banana hammock.
I don't know why I thought of that when I saw
Yeah.
it's
cock sling.
Hawaiian
Just
sling.
big old dongs flopping around.
Thanks, Gunwell. You now put images of giant dongs in John's head.
Hey,
That's maybe why
If
he likes
there's
the
one
beer
thing
so
that if
much.
there's one thing that we got out of this show,
it's an image of a big dick in my head.
you have a big dick in your head.
Just flopping around, slapping you, just plopping you,
Plopping you.
just plopping you on the teabagging you.
We got a West Coast IPA in here too, do we not?
Yeah, pow, brah.
Pow
7%. It's a West Coast IPA.
How do you spell that?
PAU. I got it right here.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. How do you spell it?
Oh, PAU space BRAH exclamation point.
And this one, there's a comma after pow.
This is a gold-colored West Coast IPA with assertive hop bitterness balanced with mild toasty malts, 2-row, and a touch of rye. Speaking my language. The aroma is citrus and stone fruit forward, balanced with herbal and pungent hops, citrus, chinook, columbus, and mosaic. Medium body clear and moderate carbonation.
I mean, it's as clear as I think Gunwell's ever going to be. It's not, you can kind of see through the glass, but you can't really.
Findings, y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
Learn to use that Kiesel saw.
Yeah, it wasn't a shock when the whole hazy thing came out and New England IPAs. It was like that beer style's made for Gunwell to make. You know?
Yeah.
So are they doing that though?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I
That
was,
Noble
half, I
beer
was
was
half
their
right.
first.
All right.
I mean, half their beers are hazy regardless, but I don't think they're New England style. They were kind of West Coasty when they first started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is just screaming West Coast in your face. It's just really bright citrus.
Really nice, clean aromatics.
It's definitely got the stone fruit thing. I mean, it's definitely got that like peachy, like bright stone fruit type thing, you know?
Oh man, this is great.
And it's so interesting because like when you're using Cal Ale, like it gives the hops almost more like distinction. You know, we talk about that smearing effect that the hazy thing has quite a bit.
It's kind of like when you put a light beam into a prism, and you can see like the different colors
Yes,
pop out
exactly.
of the other side. Like
Cal
Pink
Ale
Floyd.
is the prism.
Cal Ale is the prism of hops.
It's the hop prism.
Prism.
Hop prism, dude. I am taking that name right now. I'm writing it down.
That's not a bad way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Right? That's not bad.
Huh.
Whereas the New England style IPAs, there's no prism. It's just the light.
It's just the light.
You just taste them all one.
Yeah, if anything, it's just an amplifier.
Right. Yeah,
You
it's
know?
like an amplifier.
Yeah.
You plug in your amp, and then you
what kind of amplifier though?
strum the H chord for
What
hops.
kind of amplifier?
Oh, it's a 68
Like
Marshall
a
Plexi,
Mesa-
obviously.
Mesa Boogie?
Yeah, it's a 68 Marshall Plexi, man.
Oh, of course.
You know,
course.
you just crank that shit up. It has that really nice, sweet distortion, man.
All right, that's settled.
This beer's very well done, man.
Huh?
Nice recipe. I like the rye in it.
You gonna get the door?
Oh, someone at the door?
There was the doorbell, yeah.
Ring goes the doorbell.
No, please.
Coffee's like super umami.
Yeah, right. It has that. It like the barrel. See, so they barrel age the coffee beans when they're green, and then they roast them.
Oh,
And so it has this
do they
really
absorb some of the?
yeah, and it also
they
adds this
ferment?
like really yeah, it adds this weird like fermenty
Yeah, umami
kind
thing.
of character to it. Yeah.
What's that one shit? Never mind.
It's all right. I'm drinking coffee during this show because I didn't have any earlier, and this is dark matter, right?
It's I forgot the specific it's a
it's
barrel
Coffee talk.
yeah, it's like bourbon barrel.
something from dark
yeah,
matter.
from
Let's
dark
dish
matter.
about our dogs and daughters.
Yeah.
Coffee talk.
I'll give you. This is a wonderful coffee.
We should
Drinking
start every
it.
show with a cup of coffee.
This is coffee. This is coffee talk.
God, coffee's delicious.
That's also why I'm not as clever as I normally am at this time of day. It's
chug
because
it.
I haven't had my coffee yet.
You also don't have Jason to riff off of either.
Who's at the door?
It was my girlfriend.
Oh, she was at the door?
Well, I locked the screen door. So
Ah.
they couldn't get in.
Sorry. Sorry.
But this barrel aged coffee from Dark Matter is actually quite good.
How's the actual cup of coffee? Like, did I make it well enough or a little strong?
I would say reduce the contact time. It's a little too bitter. Or maybe make your grind a little bit more coarse.
Really? I thought it was coarse as it was. All right. Good advice.
AeroPress, dude. AeroPress is hard, man. Like, it's...
I didn't
like, you
really
can-
get... I mean, the time... I think it sat in there for maybe a minute. Like, I put some in, stirred
Okay.
it, let it sit, and topped it off, and then it took me about 30 seconds to press it.
Yeah, then I'd
I
say
guess we're
make
about
your,
a minute
yeah,
and a
I'd say
half.
make your grind a little bit more coarse then, because that sounds like my I do 2 minutes for mine. Mine's a 30-second bloom, 30-second fill, 30-second rest, 30-second press.
Okay.
So
That'd be easier to grind, too. So, there we go.
Yep. Coffee talk.
Coffee talk.
Dwogs.
So Gunwale Ales, you guys.
Shit, dude.
This IPA is fucking textbook, man. Like, this is really good.
Recipe wise, execution wise, I think this is a very high quality beer in general. For an IPA, if I bought this off the shelf, I'd be very happy.
Yeah.
It's got that 7%. Like,
I think honestly, like the bitterness, if anything, is a little too low. Like I'd actually want just like a little bit more pop in the bitterness. But that's like the only criticism that I could have.
I think it's got a nice finish.
I could see it, but I think for what it is, it's kind of like it's got that mouthfeel. It's super soft for me anyway. And it's, I don't know, it's New England-ish, I think, for me. It's like a West Coast
It's like if
ish, New
yeah.
England-ish. I mean, it's not a hazy beer. It's clearly, I mean, no pun intended, it's clearly not hazy.
It's like if Treehouse. It's like if Treehouse brewed a West Coast
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way to put it.
beer.
Yeah. It's tasty. I am so
Citrusy.
impressed so far.
Yeah. Good stuff.
This is great.
Not a turd in the herd for.
Yeah.
Turd in the herd. Oh, it's so good. Well, we got the last one, and now we're actually moving to a beer with a color darker than 5 SRM.
We're going to. We went
It's
from
the-
Banana Hammock to what was the IPA's name? No.
Pow bra.
Hawaiian sling. Yeah.
We're going from that to Cockrow.
Yeah, this is very
Crow.
Okay,
Like
how do you
this-
spell this?
Cock.
Cockrow?
Cock and then Crow.
cock crow.
Cock crow.
Yeah, I don't know where the names come from, but you know, good for them.
I mean-
I like to point out that they have a double IPA called Trollin'.
Oh, shit.
I think that's great.
You see me trolling.
At one point they had a oyster stout. Was their first stout that they brewed.
Yeah, I mean, this is very much like the
Yeah.
It was all right.
I don't want to know.
I like oysters. Yeah, this one's
Just
spinning.
add some salt and some brine. Don't kill oysters in the process.
This is very much like the fieldwork effect, like we always talk about, how every beer is like super, super light unless it's black.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Like if we don't have to buy roast malt, then we're not fucking gonna.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like pale or die.
Pale or die.
Yeah.
Pale or die.
Passion for the pale, you guys.
Give them pale.
Passion for the pale.
Now this is pretty dark. It's got some highlights coming through the bottom. Not anything crazy. Nice
this is
and creamy.
also 6.2%, so it's actually not particularly strong. Usually these breakfast style stouts, you expect an imperial stout.
I'm looking at the Crowler label, and they've got some, beer names on here that you can just check.
Yeah.
They have one called Chickabiddy,
Chickabiddy.
Landloper, and Bait Bale. Or
Bait ball.
Bait ball. It's a ball of bait.
Those are all like surfing, fishing terms.
I don't know any of these terms.
Are they?
I think so.
I think that you, at this point you kind of have to like find like a niche in a way to just to like loot names from,
Right.
you know? Because I mean, what are you gonna like? How many hot puns are there left? None.
Oh man.
You know?
Yeah, well, chickabiddy is yeah, that's pretty unique. I've never heard that
Yeah. What
before.
is that even a word? Like what?
I guess.
Yeah, I
Look it
guess
up.
it is.
Look it up. Go to
You know?
Urban Dictionary. See
No,
what the fuck-
don't go to Urban Dictionary.
Actually, it actually is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fat Mike has 2 words in Urban Dictionary, and I forgot
Which
what they
are
were.
oh, Fat Mike.
No, can't remember.
Anyway,
So the cockcrow, you guys,
it's got some coffee.
Oh,
definitely.
there's a definition in Merriam-Webster.
What is it?
Chickabiddy. It's a chicken, a child's term. What?
It's like what a kid calls a chicken.
I guess.
Here, little chicken bitty.
That's got to like.
It's a chicken baby. Chicken baby.
I don't know.
Knife.
What is that voice?
Chicken.
I don't know. Never heard you do that. It's kind of funny. Chicken baby. I can't even do that.
Hey, you gotta go from down here. Chicken.
Chicken baby.
Chicken baby.
Mama stepped in a chicken bitty.
So this cockcrow, you guys, that we still haven't actually talked about yet.
Cockroach.
I mean, it's got a really nice coffee aroma. I'm not getting any.
Boy, that smells good.
I'm not getting any green bell pepper, which
Nope.
is good.
Yeah, check that one off the list.
Definitely got some dark cocoa notes.
This smells amazing.
It's pretty figgy,
Damn it.
which I like.
Yeah, it's got that raisiny figgy thing.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of
Tootsie Roll.
a little bit of like anise aroma, but like not in a bad way, like it always is.
I don't get any anise at all.
Yeah, I get just like a little bit of like a licoricey
This is
anise kind of thing.
this is cocoa and coffee, I think.
Yeah.
Oh man, this
Those
smells
are the top
amazingly
2.
good.
Also getting a little bit of like baking spice too.
Yeah,
Well,
just
it's
a
kind-
touch.
a little,
Just a touch.
little touch of like cinnamon nutmeg. Yeah.
Yeah, you're really picking this one apart, man.
Oh man,
And it's not like aggressively bitter.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit tannic from the coffee, but yeah, it also has a little bit of like a vanilla thing. I keep
kinda
picking,
creamy.
am I like chewing on a vanilla bean right now? I'm getting vanilla out of like half the beers that we've done this session so far. I don't know why.
it's like the pumpkin spice thing right now. For you, it's vanilla. You know, it's fall, therefore everything is vanilla. I
Yeah,
guess. I don't
Vanilla,
know.
pumpkin
Yeah, I guess
spice,
so.
yoga pants.
Oh hey, John Reddy's hanging out in the chat. What's up, man?
What up, John Reddy? Yeah. So cockcrow.
The cockcrow. This is a damn fine
I
beer.
think it's nice and fluffy. I think there's probably some oats in there to balance. I mean, a breakfast stout probably has to have oats in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean this has got it says it's got wheat, orts.
It's got oat cum.
Wheat,
my
oats, corn, rice, and barley.
Rice?
Yep, I guess. Also has a touch of lactose, and then 1.7 pounds per barrel of coffee beans.
I would
which
never
was-
pick out the lactose in this.
I mean, it's good because like just a little bit helps to keep it from getting too dry. Because that's the thing with like beers like this, if it gets too dry, it gets really astringent and really nasty. Also, this has a special blend of Ethiopian Cochere and Guatemalan Hunapu coffees by the Brauhaus.
Hunapoos.
Yep, dry and smooth with a balanced mosaic hop bitterness. That's how common mosaic is now, guys. You're using it for bittering. What the fuck?
I think looking at the ingredients on this and what they did with like the grain bill and all that, like you can tell it's a well designed beer. It wasn't
Yeah.
just a bunch of stuff thrown together.
Yeah, these beers seem really well thought out.
Yeah.
Now,
know.
some of the other beers that they do as well, like the Chickabiddy and some of the other ones, you know, they're adding spices and stuff, but not as like to be a spice beer. They're very technical and putting in just the right amount. So it's like sometimes you taste it and sometimes you don't.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that. I've always thought that if you can easily identify a spice in a beer, there's too much of it.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm a huge proponent of that idea, with probably the exception of coriander, because coriander is always such like a hugely
beer spice.
prominent,
Yeah.
a hugely prominent flavor in wit beer. But yeah, I love it when breweries can be subtle with spices. I mean, I used to work for a brewery who was not so subtle with
Like,
spices.
Here's all the spices.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very much like, we use basil in this beer.
I like both. I like heavily spiced beers. I like beers that are polarizing, and I also like beers like this that are down the middle and done well.
No, what do you think of another Orange County brewery, Bottle Logic? They did their saison with quite a bit of spice in it. What'd you think of that? I don't know if they even make that anymore, but
that was what the Tattered
Prince.
Yeah, I was never into that beer personally because, like I said, it's just I don't like being. Oh, well, I think that one
you notice
specifically.
the spice.
I don't like being smashed in the face with saison. I like if with a couple of exceptions, like Avec. Saison being like super in your face with anything kind of that's not what like saison should be for me.
Speaking of which, I'm wearing a gunwale hat that says saison for days.
Yeah.
And speaking of Bottle Logic and
saison for days,
I think they have a hazy saison on tap, right?
Who's doing this hazy saison? Oh, that was
Bottle
Bottle
Logic.
Logic.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god.
fuck that. Fucking what the
Wait,
fuck
wait,
is
wait,
wrong?
wait.
No,
Oh,
no,
no.
you motherfuckers. No,
Pump
like,
the brakes, pump the brakes.
No,
pump the
no,
brakes.
no, I already got
going off the-
I already
Matt's
got
going off the
mad.
cliff.
No, yeah, I already got mad about this once. And I'm still mad about it. So I can talk about this hazy saison. You motherfuckers, like
Well-
saison can be clear to hazy. That's just saison. You're using the word as a marketing term. Fuck off. Fuck off.
But think
I'm
about
sorry.
it. Think about it. Like, what if it's like really like tropical, juicy, fruity? It's just a saison.
Then it's still just a saison. You're
And it
using
just
the word.
happens to be
You're
hazy.
throwing the word hazy in there because hazy is a thing.
Well,
Like fuck off with that
Marketing?
shit. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like hazy saison, eat my ass. Like, and this is coming from a Bottle Logic fan. I love those guys.
Love you
They're
guys.
rad dudes.
Hazy
I know a bunch of dudes
saison.
over there, but hazy saison, shove it up your ass. I'm sorry. Fuck that.
Well, they just gave us a growler.
Right on. I'll be glad to drink it, and I'm sure it'll
delicious.
be. And that's the other thing. I'm sure it'll be great because they make great beer. But hazy saison, shove it. Fuck off.
I'm
man.
with you to a certain extent. I'm not as passionate
Like
about.
I just saw that and I'm like, you fucking guys, come on! I
mean-
like you guys too much for you to pull this bullshit. Come on.
I'm pretty sure I saw Fonzie on Happy Days on water skis with a bottle of it.
Oh my god, completely
Jumping like,
yeah.
what's he gonna do?
Flying
He's
right
flying
over
right
the
over the
shark.
sharks. There he goes.
I mean,
Yeah,
you kind
the
of sound.
hazy
You kind
thing.
of sound like the
Like,
old
just-
school beer
it's-
geeks that are like into IPA, going hazy IPA. No,
right.
it's not supposed to be hazy.
It's just the use of the word in a style that already can be totally hazy. Like,
Here's our hazy
it's not,
stout.
it's not like when you say
okay, I see
hazy
what you're
when you
saying.
say hazy IPA, that means something because IPA before
Isn't
now
hazy.
wasn't normally hazy.
Right.
Saison could always be that because saison can be fucking anything. And so
It's an
now
amoeba.
you're using it for like sales
Okay,
and it's just
but
ugh.
it still makes you think this could be interesting because it's a hazy saison. So they're taking that word hazy and they're applying it to this beer, and so there are qualities that go along with that word that you assume are going to be in that beer.
That's probably true. I mean, it's like when you use IPA. Like IPA at this point means something way less specific than it used to. At this point, IPA means you're going to be essentially hop forward, American hop forward. That's what that means.
It's like IP blank.
Yeah.
Insert style here.
yeah,
you know?
IPL.
Hazy
IPS,
IPL.
India Pale Saison,
Yeah.
which is kind
India.
of
The word
weird to
India.
say.
Yeah.
But you could make a hoppy Saison, and technically that's an India Pale Saison. It has nothing to do with where the name IPA may or may not have come from.
Yeah, floating on a boat to India or whatever.
I'm gonna go get some hazy Indian food after this.
England was brewing Saison and putting hops in it to preserve it on its
Yeah.
journeys. To
Now it wouldn't last.
it's like
Now it was like spoiled before it got out of harbor.
So Ryan, who's my supervisor at last name, he was we saw that thing and he was like, I'm gonna start calling our beers hazy white ale.
Oh,
You know,
sell like shit,
yeah,
man.
exactly. You just slap the word hazy on there, even though it's already fucking hazy.
Hazy stouts.
you can't do that though, because then people assume it's gonna be hop forward, and
Or it's just
you know,
hazy, or just that it's hazy.
haze has become a thing that is a descriptor for beers for beer geeks.
I mean, there's
you
color
know?
beer, right? Keller beer.
Oh,
Cellar beer.
Keller.
Yeah. Keller beer. Yeah.
I think you said colored.
Me too. We're like, Greg.
Keller beer.
Where are you going with this?
Keller beer, exactly, which is like Keller Pills, which is just
hazy
unfiltered-
pills.
Hazy Pilsner, yeah.
But no one knows Keller. Hazy is American. You know? Hazy.
American.
It's 4 letters.
Go to Germany and get a
What the fuck is Keller?
hazy pills.
Yeah.
That's Mick Keller.
It's like when you
I had a great pun, but this is my
God.
first cup of coffee today, so it didn't like formulate itself into a
It's like
joke
it's
at
like a
all.
Mick.
It was
Like
just
Mick, I'm like, you're saying something.
it's like when you put
kind
your
of racist right now.
your fish oil.
no. Craig was
pills
the
in
one being
freezer.
racist with his colored beer.
His colored
See
beer.
that colored beer. Oh my god!
Oh, and we're off the rails.
Off the gun whales.
Overall, gun whale. Wow.
Yeah,
5 solid
like,
beers.
right on you. Like
You know what? And what's fun about these growlers? What the fuck?
Global citizens made a firm commitment to the Sustainable Development Goals. America needs sustainable development right here at home
What the shit?
to reduce
Hang on.
income inequality, ensure health care for all, and
So I have
Wow.
YouTube TV, and when
Okay.
you pause it, it'll pause and record, but then it will randomly decide, you know what, that's enough, and just start playing. And so I'll be in here. I'll be in here doing stuff at around 7.
God, it scared the shit out of me.
Well, wait. Around 7, I'll hit the space bar. It pauses, and then and I have the volume like full volume so I can hear it when I'm in here. I'll be in bed, and then I'll hear a dude talking in this room because it just starts, and it's the creepiest thing. So I have to walk in here, log into my iMac, and quit Chrome so it'll stop
Jesus
playing.
Christ.
So
That would
that's what
scare me.
happened. So sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right.
I was watching AM Joy, and yeah.
AM Joy. I was gonna say, one of the cool things about these crowlers is these aren't like special releases or anything. This is just like 4 beers that they had on their tap wall,
this
and
is
I
just the
said,
stuff that you get when you're there.
I just want that, and then they delivered. These beers are amazing.
Honestly, like these guys, just having these beers, these guys jump to almost the top of my list of favorite OC breweries.
I would say color me impressed. It's good
All
stuff.
right.
Like
you say
On
they-
that note,
Did
honestly,
they harpoon you into liking them?
I have been harpooned, and I was going to play a sound effect. In my iPad.
I also like Poon.
But seriously, I'm impressed. I want to go there now. I want to drink their beer more.
I can arrange that.
So, yeah, I'm happy about this. Like
This is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
beer's
these-
getting better
this-
all around, I think.
This is like these are exactly the kind of beers that like I want to brew myself. Yeah,
Saisons and IPAs, dude.
Yeah, saison IPA, and then
Well,
the
maybe,
occasional dark beer.
I mean, I think they
Maybe
had
Kevin can be your boss once again.
at one point they had kombucha and nitro coffee.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. I don't know if they do anymore.
Kombucha is tough. Like, oh my god, if you like sour beer, you'll love kombucha.
I had some
like really
boozy-
tart sour beer.
I will save that for another day.
Well, thanks for bringing these, Greg.
Yeah, bacha.
If you want to follow 4 Brewers online, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and Tumblr.
Tumblr.
You can find all the information on 4brewers.com. Go to 4brewers.com/live if you want to hang out with us when we're recording the show. Go to 4brewers.com/YouTube if you want to find all of our sticky, icky video content. Go to, where else should they go, John? Patreon.com/4brewers if you want to donate to the show.
Apple
We
Podcasts.
just had a rad trip up to Sacramento. That was a shitload of fun. That was provided by our Patreon supporters.
100%.
Yeah, the reason that we were
Thanks,
able to
guys.
do that was because of Patreon, and we had some really great content.
And-
Went to one of our favorite breweries in Sudwork.
Since
It was
we're
rad.
speaking of Patreon, the new glasses will be announced. If they haven't been announced yet, probably next week.
Got some new
If
designs.
they haven't been
Sunwork.
announced
It's
yet,
going to be
Field
dope.
work, butt work.
So yes, that's patreon.com/4brewers. You can donate any amount that you want per show. And it really, really helps us out.
$1.
Yep. Go to Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast app and give us a rating because we want your 5 stars, and it definitely helps us out a lot. And go to feedback@4brewers.com if you want to speak with us directly and brew the shit out of it.
Nice.
Nice.
Bullseye.
Fucking great beers, man.
So happy with them.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like this,
Really good.
I did not expect these to be. I don't know why. I guess I'm just inherently negative to new breweries. You know, you just assume someone's opening a brewery because they want to cash in, and
And
this
know
isn't
what?
that.
Dude, what's up with that new
Town Park.
Town Park?
Yeah.
Holy shit, they got money.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking dripping in money. I
Good
heard
God.
about him and I was like, oh, new brewery, and then I saw
They opened up with a bottling line and a canning line.
fucking, hey man, I saw Lucas from O'Shea's
Yep.
had some videos, and I was like, they got like a fucking 4-vessel brew house.
And the lagering tanks, 2 lagering tanks.
Yeah, I saw the lagering tanks. I'm like, fuck me, this is nuts.
Yep.
Like,
Money, yo.
And then they didn't really hire a good brewer, though, unfortunately.
oh god, what did they get
Jeremy Mayo.
Still alive.
Jeremy Mayo.
from?
Bay...
Bayhawk.
Really?
All right, so we'll be back with a third episode, which is going to be all
Beers and all.
New Jersey beers from
They're rough.
D?
It's like India.
from our fans
One
out
blonde
of
had D. There was
the New
India
Jersey.
Pine Sol Ale.
Caitlin and Alex
really?
Green. So
The lager was drinkable.
give us about 10 minutes or
Pale
so,
ale will taste like dirt.
maybe 15, and we
God,
will be
really?
back.
Sucks.
Yeah. And their white ale was